So folks, this news story about Activision Blizzard and the lawsuit being brought against them by the state of California just gets bigger and bigger. I was thinking about doing a video to this last Friday when that news broke, but I felt I didn't have anything really discernible to say. But as of today, there's been some breaking news. So if I go over to the Twitter page of Jason Schreier, he's a video games journalist who used to work for Kotaku and then transferred over to Bloomberg. And what he's basically said here over 2 hours ago is that Activision Blizzard employees will be staging a strike tomorrow outside the company's headquarters to protest the company's responses to the discrimination lawsuit and to demand more equitable treatment for staff. Now, just to give you a bit of background, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, so this lawsuit basically lays down what has happened to female employees who work on the ground level of that company. It's a pretty disgusting lawsuit in terms of the content that has been mentioned. I mean, I'm definitely not going to go into a lot of them because they really are quite disgusting. I will mention the fact that someone took their own life due to a relationship she was having with a male supervisor. And again, this is all to do with people who are on bigger pay scales, they've got bigger positions, but they abuse that power by going on constant drinking binges, turning up to work in most cases drunk, just harassing women at their desks. It's pretty volatile. I don't know what to say really, apart from the fact is it's very disheartening, because I love video games. I don't think at this stage I'm going to say I'm going to boycott Call of Duty, because I think the thing you got to remember as well that there are people that still work there that are they have no choice because they have to take home a paycheck to their family, pay a mortgage, whatever it is they have to keep a financial upkeep for. They have to do that. So I would say for the time being, I agree with the stance that people are taking in other media outlets, where they will not be talking about any Activision Blizzard titles until a conclusion is reached with this particular ongoing case. It is pretty mad. So if we go to IGN here, so a bit more details about the walkout. I'm not going to read everything here. So the reason why the employees are demanding that this walkout takes place is that they want an end to mandatory arbitration clauses in all employee contracts, current and future. Arbitration clauses protect abusers and limit the ability of victims to seek restitution. Empower a wide and company-wide diversity, equity and inclusion task force to hire a third party to audit Activision Blizzard's reporting structure, HR department and executive staff. Now, HR department, I used to work in an HR department, and the one that I worked with was pretty investigative when things came to the table for managers to deal with. And I can only speak for that one, and I thought for the most part they did a pretty good job. A bit of a tough one this, because I've been in situations where it should be a good thing to go to work, but then when you're harassed by not bosses, but by your colleagues as well. I've been a victim of that as well in 2017. I won't name the actual company, but let's just say they're famous for flying you around the world. And I actually ended up walking out. I actually ended up logging out of my PC, going to the train station because they thought I was going to return after my lunch break. I never came back. I was actually blacking out, and I actually had what they call a nervous breakdown. Never had one before, and that was the first time. I hope it's the last time. So yeah, after that, I just thought, you know what, I got to sort this all out. And, eventually I got myself together. And here I am. I do actually have a 9-to-5 job while I'm doing YouTube stuff. So, this is not my full-time job. I wish it were. But going back to Jason Schreier on Twitter. So J. Allen Brack, now he's a douchebag that I want to punch in the face. Seriously, if you see the state of him, he's like a Thor reject without any personality whatsoever. but he is the current president. I say current because you never know what may happen towards the end of the month, or I wouldn't say the end of the month, maybe next month or whatever, however long this case takes to be concluded. But if you see the email here, he's talking about basically, there's no apology offered by him. He seems to condone the behavior of the frat boy culture that he and his other male colleagues have instigated. There is a video that I'm probably going to play at the end of this. It's pretty awful, actually, where a World of Warcraft fan addresses a BlizzCon panel in 2013, I believe it is. And the question she asks and the answer that she gets back is pretty awful. But yeah, if you read the email here, it's hang on, my monitor's about to go off here for a second. There we go. So yeah, I mean, if you read it, he seems to condone the behavior. Now, what's really quite funny as well, if you go here to this article from Windows Central, why is Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick cowering behind subordinates? So yeah, Bobby Kotick, like they said, he's like the president of Activision Blizzard, and he just gets paid exorbitant amounts of money. He's done nothing to earn it. It's all contractual, so if he gets a $200 million pay bonus, he's got to take it. Rather than being the man of conscience and just distributing or redistributing the money to employees who I've read accounts of where they're so badly paid that they've got to skip lunch breaks, in some cases have shared accommodation with other people. It's pretty nuts. But the reason why I mention this particular guy here as well, and there's sadly not a picture of him because he's so ugly anyway, and probably without anybody in his life, because who would date this creep? When I say he's hiding behind the response, basically go back to Jason Schreier's page here. Now, Fran Townsend is the person that Bobby Kotick has used to defend him, basically, and the rest of Blizzard. So if you see here, she worked for the George W. Bush administration from 2004 to 2007. That'll probably explain a lot. And joined Activision in March of this year. And she sent out a very different kind of email that has some Blizzard employees fuming. So basically what she says here, and I mean, I've seen this response already, that she says, like, things going back to 10 years ago, maybe even more, those are really old stories. Where's the proof that these things actually happened? But the thing is, Fran, that these things happened in Activision Blizzard, not outside of work, at work. So, it's kind of rich coming from her that, a woman who's like in a really senior position can say these things. And again, it's the ground floor staff, the people that actually develop the games, that only makes the senior people look good because they get their bonuses, they keep the investors happy. And it's just rich coming from her that because she's a woman in a powerful position, that and she kind of writes the same way that J. Allen Brack does, and that she kind of bullet points her actual statements, and it's just awful. So the only thing I want to say is that I hope the employees at Activision Blizzard, their walkout actually says something and does something. I do agree with the fact that if you're a World of Warcraft player or streamer, instead of actually doing virtual sit-ins and not playing the game, just cancel your subscription, people. Just do that. Don't go back to them. It's awful. You shouldn't have to do that at all. So look, guys, I just wanted to make this quick video. It's not the thing I usually do, but I thought it was worth highlighting. If you type in the lawsuit against Activision Blizzard, it will take you to a page. I might link it in here afterward, actually, but be warned, there's quite a few graphic things mentioned in that, and they did a bit of a misspelling of Bill Cosby. They call him Bill Crosby for some strange reason. I thought when you're hired to do things that you check every little spelling mistake or whatever. I mean, the reason why he's mentioned is just due to one of the scumbag employees who used to work at Activision Blizzard. So, you know what? I hope they go down in flames. I don't care for them as a company anyway. J. Allen Brack, every time I see that guy's face on the screen, I just want to punch him anyway. So on that one, folks, take it easy. And I hope to bring you a more happier, more upbeat video tomorrow.
Hi there, Xantia from Kieran Tor. I love what you guys done with Little Crest. I love the fact that you have a lot of very strong female characters. However, I was wondering if we could have some that don't look like they've stepped out of a Victoria's Secrets catalog.
What do you mean?
Wait.
Which catalog would you like them to step out of?
Could you see Sylvanas looking any other way? Right. So we feel you, and we want to vary our female characters, absolutely. So yeah, we'll pick different catalogs.
Hey, Alex, what catalog is that Tauran female coming out of?
Not one you'd read.
Yeah, sexy cow business.